I forgot to mention it in the other GRV, but here we go. Watch for the review tonight is the Nixon Descender on my ugly wrist. Man, I love this watch though. It is excellent. Swiss movement, 300-meter waterproof dive watch. I just love the face, the legibility. Great looking watch. Not exactly a lightweight watch though. I think it's like almost, I don't know, 4 ounces. It's just a big stainless steel dive case. This Nixon Descender. Hey, we're sick of Casios. Roger that. There's a Nixon for you. One that I love and approve of. Link in the bottom if you're interested. But if you're not and you're here for the 22 rifle review, welcome. We're going to talk Brownings. In fact, I have about 20 years experience of shooting Browning 22s. I never told you that before, I don't think. On the top is our family BL-22 in my collection, well before TMP ever came to life. Love this gun. I'll review it separately. BL-22 lever action. Great lever action. My all-time favorite still is the Winchester 94-22. Hands down. I just love the 94-22. I have reviewed that. Look my review up. Just a fabulous gun. This is cool too, and it's definitely lighter. And it has some advantages over the 94-22 in certain aspects, depending on what your point of view is. But we're going to also discuss its brother, brought back to life in 2006, wisely I might add, by Browning, the Browning 22 T-Bolt. In a hurry? Okay, well this is an enhanced lightweight review, so it won't be very long to begin with. But if you're in a hurry, just buy it. Thanks to Gunnies, by the way, for the loaner. Yeah, so we're cranking in the gun show like never before, and I saw this on the rack. I was like, I definitely want to review the T-Bolt, totally. And some people watching how I pick out rifles at the store are like, really? I was like, I just love it. I think it's cool, straight pull action. It's lightweight, comes in a bunch of cool variations. This one, by the way, is the T-Bolt suppressor ready ATAX LE. It's going to be limited availability. If you can find it, good luck. Gunnies may have 1 or 2. Order them up. Details in the bottom. Their contact information. While it lasts, take advantage of it. Who knows what the future holds. This gun's cool though. 5 stars. I'll say that on camera. There's really nothing I don't like about the gun. And if you don't like this one where it's, you know, got the ATAX camouflage on it, which I think is very sick, go with the traditional one, and they are beautiful. And by the way, I'm a traditionalist in a lot of ways. I don't know if I represent that very often in the GRVs because my audience likes tactical stuff. They don't like old-fashioned guns, generally speaking, and they don't like, you know, traditional guns. And every time I'll say that, someone will comment, well, I do, I love them. I know, but you're here, and there'll be 97% of the subscribers that won't come and watch this review. It's just the way it is. So that's why I concentrate on tactical guns. But wood, like nice walnut, maple stocks, absolutely. I was looking through Browning's website last night on the T-Bolt variations. And this is also, by the way, available at times in 17 HMR and 22 Win Mag. This one's a 22 long rifle variation. But they have like the varmint suppressor ready, left-handed version. So crew member Mike Jardine will like that. He's a lefty. And by the way, I never hear him complain shooting all these righty rifles. Never. Not once. I mean, he'll be in the desert testing this gun, testing something else, and nothing. He won't complain at all. He'll just rock it. So good on him. But there you go, Jardine. Lefty, varmint, and by the way, it's suppressor ready just like this one is, wearing a can on it. And I think I tested the whole thing shooting a can on it. Also, Mossy Oak variation was there. They had a maple version with beautiful high polished blue bluing and cut checkering. All these are made in the Maruki factory in Japan. So, awesome. As was this one. The Japanese made Browning rifles. That tradition continues. Super high quality. They got a Sporter Walnut, a Target Varminter. That one's in 17 HMR. They have several discontinued versions. One was in a Varmint Green. Then you had a carbon fiber suppressor ready version, a Sporter and Maple. Another one really cool is like a youth version called a Micro Midas. I guess Midas referring to the gold trigger, which this one has as well. Which will take us right into features. And we'll start with the trigger. I actually like it a lot. It's pulling about 4 pounds, 5 ounces for me. It is a plastic gold-plated trigger, so if that is a problem for you, you might look elsewhere. I don't care. I've never had a problem with a composite bottom section of a trigger guard, and this is all composite on the T-bolt. And I think all versions are like that. So even if you get one with high polished blue, I think you'll still have composite bottom section for the trigger guard and stuff. But if that matters to you, I don't know. 2 action screws here for solidity. And again, I told you about the trigger, how excellent it is. Now, is it like Savage excellent or one of those 2-bladed style of triggers? No, it reminds me more of the CZ 452, 455 series. It has a very clean break and a light pull that contributes to accuracy. So a very traditional trigger. Maybe not a modern bladed trigger where it has like a safety blade and a very light pull. It is adjustable though, so if you don't like it, you can adjust it down. I think a lot of the British shooters like it really, really light because they do a lot of, I don't know, accuracy shooting, maybe some varmint killing out there. Good on them, by the way. 4 pounds works for me fine. And that'll take us to this pretty excellent magazine, the Double Helix by Browning and the T-Bolt. Browning's answer to the very excellent and forever elegant Ruger 10-round magazine for the 10-22 and 77-22. So it's like it says, a double helix. Kind of feeds in an S pattern. Has steel feed lips on it. Very lightweight, very compact, and it's flush fitting. How excellent is that? So you don't have one sticking out like we would see with some Savage and Marlin products. In a 10-round magazine, you're going to have something sticking out. And in this version, the suppressor ready ATACs, check this, you get an extra one in the freaking butt stock. Is that excellent or what? That is just cool. And it didn't pop out during testing. It was just, locks in place and stays there. And look at the butt pad while we're here. Just a plastic version. It has to be that way though, so you have the recessing area for the magazine. Kind of a raised cheek piece on this composite stock. So, and by the way, it has a real nice finish on it. It's not rubbery, but it kind of has some high traction to it. Kind of molded in checkering on this version of T-Bolt. I like it though. The stock is excellent because it's lightweight, and my philosophy of use on this gun is a pest rifle. Not really a bench rest competition rifle or where I'm going for 100-yard shooting in a competition or something. This is something I would carry around in field, maybe kill some rats. If I have like a rabbit infestation or whatever infestation, this is a gun that could answer the challenge. Speaking of rabbit infestation, do I still have any English TMPers around? Man, back in 09 and 8, man, I had a lot of Brit guys that were always in the comments, and I love those guys, and I don't know if they're there anymore. Maybe they wandered off. There's so many channels now doing what I do. I wouldn't blame them. But a rabbit infestation, every time I've gone to England, damn, there are rabbits everywhere. I mean, I'd be flying my KC-135 into Mildenhall, and there's like 100 out on the grass, and I was just wishing, I'd let the co-pilot drive the jet. This is in a fantasy world, of course. And I would have a gun like this, and I would just snipe rabbits going into parking on the Air Force Base. I would love to do that. I would totally love it. Would never, ever happen. I'm just totally joking. But, and I always say I don't like killing things until it reaches infestation level, where there's no natural predators and they're just causing problems. I don't mind harvesting a few rabbits in that situation. This is a perfect gun for that. Perfect. So it's lightweight. It's compact. It has a very short overall length. And we'll see that it's very fast shooting as well. One thing you will not get with a stock, though, is a beaver tail forend. But it has a, dual sling stud, so you can put a bipod on there. Problem solved. If you're taking it afield. Free floated barrel. I think on all versions it's free floated. And we'll jump ahead. Speaking of barrel, look at this. I mean, look how thick the barrel is. Medium profile, but in my estimation, that's a pretty thick barrel. Love it. And it's pure metal. So this isn't like a sleeve and then you have a stainless steel liner. This is an old school 22 barrel, and let me show you what I'm talking about if I can take the can off. Not that that's like the kiss of death for a 22, it's not, but I don't know, there's just something about these Japanese produced Browning rifles, the BL-22 included. They're very old school in their approach. They have a modern design, but they're old school in their execution. See, this is a full metal barrel. There's no liner than like a CF carbon fiber or plastic shroud. It's old school, high quality barrel. In this case with the suppressor on it. So obviously this is a threaded barrel version. That's what I would recommend if and when you think you would ever need a can on it. Let me talk something real quick about that too to help you out, maybe save some money. You don't always need a can, and so if you're like, I don't want to pay the tax stamp here in the US. In England, by the way, they're easy to get. Guns aren't. You have to have a firearms certificate. You have to apply. Have to be accepted. You have certain slots on your FAC application, and it's a total hassle. They still have some guns over there. I think like small bores, like these 22s as they call them. But cans for them are easy to get. They just count as a firearm in their certificate. Here in the US, we got to pay $200 stamp, go through all that crap, and just apply, and you get it. What I was going to say though is if you shoot like subsonics out of this without a can, dude, it's so quiet you don't need it. Just get a subsonic. It's just a little crack, little pop. If you're doing pest control in a certain place where you just want to be stealthy, you know, your T-bolt will rock and roll that way. In as much that it's going to be quiet, is what I should say. So nice quality barrel. We're going to see that again when we look at the accuracy of the T-bolt. And here's a super charming aspect of this gun, and one that I think attracts a lot of people, and one where 22 enthusiasts here in the United States, and maybe even in the world, campaign to have the T-bolt brought back. It's the only straight pull 22 rifle being made, I think. There might be a European version or something here, but it's kind of harkening back to the old 22 biathlon rifles. I shouldn't say old, they're still running them. So when you watch the Winter Olympics, you'll see them firing straight pull rifles, 22 small bore in their biathlon competitions. Also, there are some military rifles that use this loading system, but for a larger cartridge, one that has a longer overall length, I don't know if it's ideal, but for a 22 long rifle, a straight pull makes a lot of sense. That's because it's fast and it's fun. And when we're talking about shooting it, you can actually stay in the glass, so in the scope while you're shooting your T-bolt. We might be able to do that with certain bolt guns if they're really smooth. Going back to the CZ series, like a 455, they're very smooth. The Marlins are smooth, like the XT22, the 925s. But you still have like a bolt you're lifting up instead of just racking this thing straight back. Scope bell clearance is not an issue at all. It's a very strong system too. It's basically an L-shaped bolt handle, I should say, linked to a locking lug. The front of the handle, as you can see, pivots outward of the slot, and there's actually a locking lug back here. I'm offhand here, so it's hard for me to get leverage on it. There we go. In operation, it's pretty smooth. The straight pull. Love it. Super high quality. Again, in this more tactical version, you don't have a high blue finish. It's just a matte black finish applied to this one. For testing purposes, I fitted on this still much beloved Weaver. I think a 2-7. Actually, am I saying it right? This is a 3x9 actually. 3x9 rimfire scope that has an adjustable objective, which means close range. You can still focus to your target, which is nice. So if you're having a competition inside door or indoors somewhere, maybe you're just shooting at, I don't know, 50 feet or something, this can focus down there. Again, the British guys, they use close focusing stuff all the time because all their ranges are close. They shoot a lot of air rifles, and they're used to it. American folks and shooters are not that used to it because we have a lot more places to go shoot, a lot longer ranges, like me out in the desert. But I still like it for an indoor option competitively. The rings I used on this were just some cheap Weaver ones. They were like $7, and I didn't really intend to leave them on, but they work great. I forget which number it is, but they do make a set for it, $7. Browning will make a set, but it'll be expensive. I bet you $50 or something like that to get bases for your T-bolt. And that kind of drives to a criticism I'll give Browning is you should include them. Don't make your shooters go out and have to buy bases. I think it's cheesy. especially in this day and age. I mean, 2017, bro, throw them in there. I mean, it obviously doesn't have a Picatinny rail. It's a tactical rifle, but no pick rail. Maybe it should. Maybe it should have a low profile, super low profile, 2-piece pick rail on there, so guys don't have to go out wasting time looking for rings and stuff. And a good representation of that would be the Savage Mark II FVSR reviewed here. So that's a bolt gun by Savage in it. It's also threaded barrel, full pick rail, and it's serious about how it does it. The only thing I'd say about the FVSR and all the Savage Mark IIs is that magazine can fall apart, the 10-round magazine. Did on me. Still a great gun, I love it. Features though, that's pretty much it on the T-Bolt. It's a pretty simple rifle. I think the standouts I've covered pretty much. The quality, like I say, is amazing. It's machined from bar stock. Most of the Browning rifles are that way. I mean, they're just super high quality. It's Japanese quality. If you look at a well-made Japanese folding knife like a Spyderco, something made in their Japanese facilities, we kind of drool over that quality. It's the same way for these Browning rifles. I really wish I had a T-Bolt in one of those beautiful high polished blue finishes with some beautiful wood, just by way of reference, but this is all I have to show you. I will roll in some homepage footage though, and you'll get a flavor of that as well. Philosophy of use I covered just a little bit. Pest gun, absolutely. And then legal in a lot more places gun. So maybe overseas, in England. I'm not sure what's going on down in Australia and the land down under. Those poor folks are under attack constantly for their gun ownership rights, heaven forbid. If you don't join and belong to the NRA and actually give to them, NRA ILA, rethink it please, because we could go down that same road in the United States. Absolutely. Never, ever, ever think your gun rights are safe. They're under attack all the time, says me. How does it shoot? Pretty amazing. Let's look at the accuracy, and this will make you want one, just saying, of the Browning T-Bolt. That's this gun on the table, shooting with a can. There's gold medal 40 grainers. There's 5 shots into almost one hole. Another 5 shots. Look at that. I mean, this is what you're going to see everywhere. Ely Prime,
same hole.
Federal gold medal. 5 shots with Ely match. Aguila Super Extra.
Holy
freaking A, man. 5 shots.
All 5 shots.
What I say? Up arrow exclamation point. I mean, that's amazing. That's me shooting at indoor range. I think you'd probably, if I shot at 50, it'd open up a little bit more, not much. 100, I mean, when we shot the CZ 452, not the 455, Tactical Doodle shot like a sub-inch group out of that with a CZ, which also has an amazing bolt or barrel quality on it. I think this gun could do the same thing. Oh, here you go, 50 yards. I did it in the snow. I totally forgot I did it. This is in January this year. This is shooting Winchester crap, not great. CCI into one hole. That's 5 shots. In the desert, off a polymer table. I rest my case. CCI, 5 shots. 5 shots, 5 shots, 5 shots. CCI, Winchester, M22 garbage. Just flying all over the place. In the snow, awesome accuracy. I give the accuracy 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. And it's fast. Once again, you can cycle it. It's fun. It's different. It has a whole different shooting dynamic. You stay in the glass. And you can stay out there all afternoon and shoot, not go broke. Not go broke. I did dial around looking on YouTube, speaking of British shooters, and there is this one guy. He has a channel called SRS Power. He's got some really cool footage of him hunting rabbits with his freaking Browning T-Bolt. So you might want to check that out. Say hi for me. TMP says hello to our British shooters. We're rooting for you always. What a great gun. How about competitive options and would I buy it? We've already established it shoots amazing, extremely accurate. By the way, 100% reliable, no malfunctions that I can remember of any kind. Easy to load magazines. They stay in, flush fitting. It looks good. It's different. Great trigger. Would I buy it? Yeah, absolutely. The downside is it is expensive. I mean, one of the more expensive 22s you'll find. But, you know, news alert, most of the Brownings are that way. You know, you can get them made in Japan with that level of quality. The BL-22 was expensive when I bought it. It's an expensive gun. It's got great wood on it, super quality, never jams. The magazine tube actually stays in place. I do have this scope mounted on the receiver because on the BL22 you don't have much receiver space and you don't have pick rail, and so I was like, oh, let me experiment with that and see if it works. It works. It looks weird, but it's stable and it remains accurate, so I just ran it. I put that on there like, I don't know, how long ago was that? 15, 16 years ago? It's been there ever since. This one has, you know, more spacing on it so you can adjust it to your eye relief. Yeah, I'd absolutely buy it. Looking at other options, though, there's a lot of good ones out there. CZ 455 series with caliber exchanges, you might look at that. The Savage Mark II series, I actually like that a lot. I talked about the magazine already. Ruger 7722 is along the same lines, but again, these are all bolt action 22s. They're not straight pulls. There are some, I think, older 22s that have that action on it, but we're talking modern production ones. You're looking at it. Marlin 39A, I thought it's a good lever action. I sold mine. I just didn't like the smoothness, or lack of smoothness, I should say. The Winchester 9422 remains pretty much my all-time favorite 22 rifle, hands down. It will have the advantage in the pest control POU over the T-bolt in that it can cycle 22 shorts. Your T-bolt is chambered and will only fire 22 long rifles in a long rifle chambering. If you get one in 17 HMR, 22 mag, that's diff. But in 22 long rifle, you're shooting that. Not a big deal because it still holds an adequate number of rounds for pest control application. And like I said, you can get long rifle subsonics that are super quiet, that this gun will function with. So it doesn't have a semi-automatic mechanism that has to have a certain pressure level to function. Nope, T-bolt is functioned by you, which is to say it's going to be reliable. Pretty much all the loads you put in it. Browning BL22, just to mention a couple, but it's a great gun. It really is. By the way, patch is from my T38 Talon days. I'm just starting to roll it on for some eye candy. Just something to look at. Still have the owl patches in the web store too. Love the T-bolt. It's such a great gun. Highly, highly recommended. Well done, Browning. And don't discontinue it. And I think the best way to make that happen is to make sure someone out there buys it so they can make money off this gun. Because if they ain't making money, it's going to go away again. See ya. Oh! Hit. Cool, man. It's very cool. You like it?
It's awesome.
It is awesome.
It's way cool.
It's so cool.
I want to keep it. It's so cool.
We're buying it.
And we got a lot of 22s.
You said that right.
Did you told me this morning, hey, you want another 22? Hell no. But, dude, it's charming.
I know.
And at this, you've been shooting this forever. And it's not jamming up or gumming. The straight pull's awesome. The quality's cool. I love that stock.
That stock is cool, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just got character, man.
And how it retains the mag back here just works.
This exact setup, like starting out a kid shooting, awesome. It couldn't be better, and especially with this.
The can on it. Threaded.
Yeah.
It's super light. What is that? 410.
Made in Japan.
Ooh, I like that too. Do two more.